to an attack on the United States is to go and destroy the world. When the dragon has its skin poked, it decides to breathe fire on everything. And Code Pink was set up essentially as a warning against doing exactly that. And of course, the United States government did exactly that. There were a million, 11, 10, 15 million people around the world marching against the illegal war on Iraq. Didn't make a jot of difference. Didn't make a jot of difference. So much for democracy. How many hours people in this room spent in prison cells? Some of us handcuffed to bicycle racks because we were demonstrating against the war on Iraq. By the way, when I said an illegal war, again, it's not my opinion. UN Secretary General Kofi Annan in 2004 said that to BBC. He said it's an illegal war. Why is it illegal? Because, friends, we have some laws in the world. Some laws. Even international laws. For instance, for God's sake, I'm not even talking about the Communist Manifesto, okay? I'm not, okay? I'm talking about the United Nations Charter. The country that violates the UN Charter the most is the United States of America. It's not China. It's not Russia. It's not India. It's not Mexico. It's certainly not Cuba. It's certainly not Cuba. It's the United States of America. The United States of America is the biggest scofflaw on the planet. The United States of America didn't even have the decency to sign the Treaty of Rome. Now, you wonder, what the hell is the Treaty of Rome? The Treaty of Rome, friends, is the reason we have a so-called International Criminal Court. It's a so-called International Criminal Court because the biggest international criminal is not a signatory to it. And the biggest international criminal is the United States of Amnesia. Rafiq Kataria, one of the great poets of our time, friends. One of the great poets. The United States of Amnesia. The United States of Amnesia, America, whatever you want to call it, the US, etc., didn't sign the Treaty of Rome, will not allow a file to be opened to investigate US war crimes in Afghanistan and in Iraq. The United States of America cannot have a file opened at the International Criminal Court on its behavior in Afghanistan or Iraq, and Mike Pompeo had the indecency to sanction Special Prosecutor at the ICC Fatih Bensouda and her family. They would not be allowed to get visas. She was not allowed to get a visa to enter the United States to brief the UN Security Council because she had the nerve to open a file on US criminal activity in Afghanistan and Iraq. We know there were war crimes committed, and you know why we know that. We know that thanks to the bravery of Chelsea Manning and the WikiLeaks organization led by Julian Assange. We know this because Chelsea Manning bravely downloaded enough evidence of serious war crimes conducted by the United States in Iraq and Afghanistan. We know that. We know that. There's enough evidence out there. But Mike Pompeo decided, no, the ICC doesn't have the jurisdiction. Actually, they don't mean doesn't have the jurisdiction. What they mean is they don't have the right. Because what they're saying is white supremacy does not have the right to be judged by anybody. After NATO bombed Libya, the lead lawyer at NATO, Peter Olson, was asked by the United Nations to release bombing information so that the United Nations could judge whether NATO exceeded the mandate of UN Security Council 1973. That's what allowed NATO to bomb Libya under Charter 7 of the UN Charter, Chapter 7 of the UN Charter. Peter Olson wrote back and said, no, NATO does not commit war crimes. Only savages commit war crimes. See, I know you're wondering, this is supposed to be about China. This is supposed to be about China. Why is he talking about the United States? Because, friends, frankly, the United States does not have the right to judge anybody.